Hey, Shane,
Yeah.
do you live your life in such a way that you can be out the door in 30 seconds if you hear the heat coming?
I don't even think I could be out in 30 days.
Yeah.
Like,
It's so true.
the roots are deep, dog.
Moving's tough, bro. Moving is a tough game.
Look, 30 months, I could get it under 30 months.
Yeah,
3
okay.
months?
Okay.
I would think we'd be pushing it. 30 days,
Okay.
no way. 30 hours, get out of here. 30 minutes,
Hell no.
just take me. I'm gone.
So what I'm hearing is you and I could not be career criminals based off that.
Now, see, I already am, but there's no way the cops are going to find me.
All right. Well, we're talking about Heat today, which I'm super excited about.
Hell yeah.
Kind of in honor of the late great Val Kilmer's passing. We decided we had some discussion on whether we should watch like Tombstone or this, and you hadn't seen Heat, so
Right.
we went with Heat, and it's a great movie, one of Michael Mann's best movies. So
I think I've even asked about
Yeah.
putting this on the list a couple of times at this point. So this is one that I've really wanted to watch for a very long time.
yeah, we
So
were
it's
like
very
maybe gonna do
exciting.
it for when we did like Action April or whatever. We were discussing it way back
Yeah.
then, and then there were
And then
too
I
many
think there
other
was, like,
choices.
In December or something, it got brought up as like a random possibility just because I wanted to watch it.
Yeah, and like there's a Heat 2 novel, which written by Michael Mann, that's getting potentially adapted into a movie.
Fascinating.
I know nothing about it. I have not read it. I kind of want to now. I've heard good things. I mean, I don't
Is it
know.
the same characters or is it just a similar situation?
Not a single clue, my guy. I have no idea. So we'll see what that's about. Maybe it's a prequel, but why would you call it Heat 2 then?
Well, why did they call Red Dead Redemption 2 when it was a prequel?
You know
Heyo.
what? Yeah, which by the way, I picked back up.
Hell yeah, brother.
I have been a little frustrated with the gameplay mechanics because I'm having to like relearn it pretty deep into the game. So
It is both a prequel and a sequel to the 1995 film Heat. It covers the formative years of homicide detective Vincent Hanna and criminals Neil McCauley and Chris. There's no world I'm pronouncing that correctly. So
fascinating. All right, I heard rumor that Austin Butler was going to play the Kilmer character in the movie, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So Heat. This has been, I think, for a lot of film fans, one of those movies that's like kind of legendary status. I mean, I think we can both agree there.
It's a classic. It's like an absolute classic at this point.
But let's start with. I just want to discuss with Michael Mann. What is your Michael Mann experience? How many of his movies have you seen?
Off top, I think I've only seen a few. Like
Have you seen Collateral?
I have not seen Collateral.
That's the other one I would like to do an episode on, but
I've seen some of his later movies. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But I have not seen, I think, a lot of them. I don't think I've seen all that many.
So I've seen 5. I've seen Heat, Collateral, Ferrari, Manhunter, and Last of the Mohicans are the ones I've seen.
This is the very first Michael Mann movie I've ever seen.
Oh.
I swear I thought I might be thinking of Tony Scott.
Wait, have you not seen Miami Vice?
I have
seen
not
Inherent Vice.
I have seen Inherent Vice, which I am one of 6 people who can say that.
True.
I saw that shit in the theater, dog. Like,
Yeah.
it was right after I watched There Will Be Blood and became like obsessed with P.T. Anderson, and then Paul Thomas Anderson, P.T. and who's the other
PTA. Paul W.S. Anderson.
W.S. Anderson. Okay.
Yeah.
I became obsessed with him, and then Inherent Vice was in the theaters, and I was like, I'll go see that. I like this guy, and then I was like, this is a weird ass movie. Yeah. I did not know that the trailers are very different from what that movie is.
The dude can direct the hell out of a movie, my guy. He is such a specific, unique voice. I think you would really like Manhunter, an adaptation of Red Dragon, The Silence of the Lambs, the Hannibal Lecter stories. And so Brian Cox actually plays Hannibal Lecter before, which no one talks about. And he's really he's in like 2 or 3 scenes, very little screen time, but he's really good in it.
Fascinating.
Anyway, it's very, very cool. Very cool. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
But so I swear I would have had. I think I'm thinking of like Deja Vu and like which is a Tony Scott movie, but it also has Val Kilmer in it. So I think I just mixed them up in my head, especially since we're like, I was just going through Tony Scott, his filmography recently, just like looking at it because I watched Enemy of the State for no reason.
Yeah.
And I saw Deja Vu, and I was like, oh, I remember watching that movie. I used to watch that movie all the time.
Yeah.
And then Val Kilmer also in Deja Vu, so I think that's where the wires got crossed. But so tell me your experience with Michael Mann and Heat. I don't know obviously Collateral, but what other movies have you seen of his?
So yeah, of his, Last of the Mohicans is really good. Ferrari's okay. Ferrari's kind of a weird movie. Yeah. And then Manhunter's really pretty interesting. Very 90s. Yeah. Heat is definitely like his best movie, but I think Collateral is maybe my favorite. Like, though it's the one that I've gravitated to more, and part of that is the runtime. Like, it's a little bit of an easier sit down and watch Collateral. It's like 2 and some change. It's not quite it's not touching 3. But yeah, Collateral is just this like really unique version of a crime thriller that I really like. Like, where Heat is the best at the thing that gets done quite a bit. I haven't really seen many Collaterals, which I think is cool. Collateral's Achilles' heel is that it's a little ugly, because I think it was the first movie shot entirely digitally. Really? I could be wrong about that, but it's one of the first. It's in that first batch that happened, and I don't think they had quite figured out how to do it exactly right. So it's like the camera work and all of that is really solid. It just doesn't quite look amazing.
Yeah.
For various reasons. Now, that may be overselling that, but I love Collateral. I think Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise are awesome in that movie.
Yeah.
But then with Heat, I saw Heat in college. Like, I found it in a $5 bin. Remember when Walmart used to have those $5 bins?
That Heat would be in a $5 bin?
Yeah, it's been out long enough. I think the Blu-ray. I don't think there's been a re-release until the 4K came out, if there's a 4K of it. You used to be able to find movies in those. I got Shutter Island out of a $5 bin. Like, you got really good movies out of those, and they stopped doing them, and it's really sad now. But so I got out of that, and I watched it, and I thought it was really great in college, but I actually liked it more on this rewatch for prep for this.
Yeah.
I just engaged with it a little more. I had seen more Michael Mann movies in between, and I had seen more Robert De Niro and more Val Kilmer and all of these actors, more Al Pacino. So I had this deeper appreciation for everyone involved.
Yeah.
And then obviously you learn more about how they did the famous shootout sequence in this, which is probably the best ever in a movie, maybe.
Yeah.
And
do we want to just go straight in to talk about that?
I do want to just go straight and talk about what was your experience? How much of it had you seen just through the zeitgeist?
I had seen like basically just the mag change, because like that's so famous for being like, it is like one of the most accurate on-screen like depictions of proper gun usage. That don't they like use that in like training courses and stuff as an example of proper.
It is I read a tweet where it's like Val Kilmer one time said that he could probably fly a helicopter better than most helicopter pilots after getting training for a movie. And then he said, but the person responded with, "You're thinking that's weird, but he also has the cleanest, the stunt coordinator also said he had the cleanest fire, reload, continue fire ever depicted on screen." So it kind of implies he's right about the helicopter thing.
Yeah.
Which hysterical to me, but yeah, it's quite literally like a shocking thing to watch where you're like, whoa, how did you I think the only one that
go ahead.
Oh, there's another famous one. I think the fastest ever done was by Bradley Cooper in the A-Team. He, from a fire reload back to fire, he did it so fast, hanging off the side of a truck, and then they cut it from the movie. I would have been so pissed, dude. Like, that was unbelievable when I heard that.
Why?
I don't. Maybe they're like, the sequence doesn't need it. And so I can't 100% confirm that. I just remember I was like, at one point, I don't know, sometimes you find yourself watching special features for strange movies. And A-Team was just on.
Like that would be fun special features.
They were. I remember them because they do talk a lot about the action and the weapons training and stuff, and they talk about how good Bradley Cooper got at it. Anyway, but no, yeah. What were you going to say about this? Just the sequence as a whole.
I don't think guns have ever felt louder.
I have a funny. I have a funny thing about that. Yeah.
I know nothing about man. There's just something about the cacophony of gunfire. It is so loud and it has this resonance, this reverb that really feels like it's running down a long street in a downtown area. It's horrifying.
So you would think that is just meticulously done in post. That is the on-set captured sound.
That is both incredibly surprising and not surprising at all, because it is so it feels so real, because it is
they had
something about that sound that really I had the sound pretty loud in the living room when I was watching it, but the rest of it was not all that loud, but then it just absolutely crashes through the top end. You know what I mean? The rest of the movie for the most part is pretty quiet. It doesn't have a lot of crazy, there's the scene at the very beginning, the heist at the very beginning.
Yeah.
But then it's pretty quiet through the rest of it. And then croosh, just absolute crash of violence and chaos.
Well, this is one of those times when just a director knows what he wants. Because he went in after they had done the edit and the sound mix was getting done, they got to that scene and they had made it into a movie. You know what I mean? They had changed all the firing sounds, really cleaned them up, really made them more solid. And I feel like that would make that sequence way more fun in a way that it absolutely shouldn't be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But,
no.
So he was like, no, take all of that out. I just want that really, exactly like you're saying, this cacophony echoing off everything around them. The hits feel so loud and real. It makes that scene a lot less fun and a lot more stressful and real and heavy hit. Like when one of the detectives gets hit and stuff, it's shocking. It's how many people have died in this movie already, but something about that one where you're like, whoa, okay. Yeah. How suddenly it starts too.
Yeah.
You have this buildup and you know it's coming, but then when Val Kilmer just sees him and starts unloading, you're like, oh, okay. And then it does not let up.
Big Wild West shootout, quiet, there's no eye contact, shoot. It's he sees him and the gun is firing. There's no slow-mo. There is no glorification of it for look, it's
none,
a movie,
yeah.
But it is not cool and badass. It is scary. Yeah. It's it is tense.
And it's the fact that all those actors are really doing most of it.
Yeah.
It's the fact that they're doing it really on actual streets, firing blanks.
Yeah.
It's the fact that they trained for you look at all of those actors and you're like, all of you are really good at this.
Yeah.
Because they just trained 4 months doing real drills and real setups and real tactical guy. Because it's fun to see sometimes you watch these movies where there's low class criminals. They talk about this where there's people who are not as good at this as they are. It's fun to see a crew of criminals who are just great at what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They get pinched completely by things that are kind of not their fault. You know what I mean? They just happenstantially get caught up in the guy giving people a nickname. You know, and he calls people Slick, and it just so it's really fun to watch that shootout. And they're there's 4 of them, and they're taking on all of the LAPD. It's crazy. It is such a fascinating storytelling device just to have your characters be good at something versus panicking. They don't panic. They just start moving through the city. They're like, we have the superior firepower. They have to be careful. We don't. All right, let's do it. Yeah. And it's so good. And it really shows how close they all are, that they're just working together really well.
Yeah.
Great storytelling through action, which I think is what Michael Mann maybe does better than anybody. He has a really great way of just going here are the characters, here's how they would be. We're not going to explain that they're the highest end badasses of all time. We're just going to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. That sequence is genuinely best shootout of all time, probably, in any movie.
I don't know what the other argument would be. You know what I mean? My mind immediately goes to another Val Kilmer, the in Tombstone, the shoot at the OK Corral, but that's so different. It's so different.
It's very sensationalized. You have there's Unforgiven has a really great short one.
Yeah.
Unforgiven, and then there's did you ever see what's the movie? It's got Brie Larson and Armie Hammer. I'll look it up real quick, but the entirety of the movie is a shootout at a arms deal gone wrong.
Oh, I have no idea. I have not
Free
heard of
Fire.
this.
It's called Free Fire.
Interesting.
It's like but that's really funny and very sensationalized. Like, it's not the same thing.
No.
My favorite thing about Heat, though, is the fact that shootout just is like the best thing in the world and one of the coolest movies ever. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, movies used to look like this, dude.
Yeah. Like I was struck by some of the visuals. There's one shot, and I don't know what it was. Definitely like the editing with it as well. Mm-hmm. It's the shot right before there's the sting where Al Pacino is like casing the place as they pull up, and they're like they break in, and they've got like the camera.
They're trying to put the chip in. Yeah.
Right. But then De Niro hears this. So the shot right before, as the van is pulling up, and it's just this high helicopter shot of the van driving down the street over silence, or like very near silence. And I was like, like, what is this? Like, there was something like so striking about that moment for some reason that really stuck with me. And then right after, when De Niro hears the sound, and then there's like the face off. Ooh,
it like snaps to him. It's so good.
And it's like the exact same like framing on both of them, like looking right at each other. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, dude. I love. Okay, just to play into this real quick. Do you believe in the myth that they never really shot a scene together?
What?
You don't know about? So there's people who've because they before this they were both in The Godfather Part 2. Right. So they're both in movies. They don't share exactly. They don't share any scenes together. So there's this like legend of like these two incredible actors, both of which who've been in these incredible movies, sometimes together but never on screen. There's all these rumors that there's never a wide shot of them in that diner together. Mm-hmm. It's just over the shoulder. So there's been all these rumors that they were never actually on set together for most of that. It's kind of like one of those weird film legend things, and I don't know if this has ever been resolved. So like, please tell us. But I don't buy into it. It's just a funny thing that's like sprouted from this movie where like Robert De Niro and Al Pacino have still never actually been on screen together for real. And I was like, yes, they have. There's no way they haven't. But it's like it's
other than literally the very last shot, which we don't see Pacino's face. He's turned away the entire time. Look, were they on scene together? Yes.
Yeah.
But
the one that breaks it for me is when he pulls him over in the car. And there's that like low shot from the passenger seat, and De Niro's out of focus, and Pacino's up in like that's the one where it's like there's no way they faked that. Not in the 90s. You know what I mean?
There's no way they faked any of it. Like they were like, did they maybe have stand-ins for some of the old over the shoulders? Maybe. But I don't think so.
No, it is just one of those funny things where you're like, wait, there wasn't a wide shot with both of them. Did they fake that? Like it's like kind of a weird film urban legend that I really enjoy.
Scene, the standoff of them at the diner. I was at least aware of that. Like,
yeah. Well, but the my favorite part about it is honestly how they get into that scene. They're like tailing him, and they pick him up. He pulls him over, and the gun in his hand. Like and he's just like, "You want to get coffee?" Sure. I love that. That is so original and so cool. Like,
it's very good.
Well, then also just the gun that Pacino uses, I think is fascinating because that's not a standard issue. Like it's got the white grip. You're like, this is a dude. Grip. He's talking all this stuff with his wife about how he has to do this, and it makes him miserable. This is a man that loves the chase. This is a man that can't let go of the chase. It makes him miserable. It makes him miserable. Yeah. But Breck had a really succinct way of putting it where it's like, hey, if De Niro's character wins, if he gets away in the end, everything for him changes. He can just retire and be done. If Al Pacino's character wins, nothing changes for him. He's going to continue to live this miserable existence. Even though he loves it, it's still miserable.
Would his character do that? I don't think so at all.
I don't know. Well, because he lives his life, but like the reason he loses is because he doesn't take his own advice. Is because he can't let go. Which is I love that. I love it's his fault. You know what I mean? It's what makes good character writing. Yeah. Sometimes things are your fault.
Yeah. I mean that, but exactly what you're saying. Like he can't give up the chase. He can't give up I don't think for a second. Do I think he would take a year off? Yeah, I think he'd take a year off. He'd go right back to it.
Probably. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's just an interesting thought. I was like, that's a good way to look at it of like, wow, he could change his life, but for the other end of it, no, this is it forever. Let's talk performances. What do you think?
Is Al Pacino good in this? Is he good in this?
I think Al Pacino has scenes where he is absolutely great, and every time he does his big Pacino thing, it's like, okay.
It's all the stuff that I can tell was improv.
Yeah.
Like,
well, because like to me, I think the moments when he's really good is like when you want to get coffee. Like that scene is good. The scene in the diner is really great. When he shoots one of the guys who has the kid hostage, and he goes and picks up the kid, he's great. He's that last scene when he's talking to spoiler alert, he's shot De Niro, and he's like they grip him.
What?
Like, yeah, sorry. Oh, did you watch the alternate ending? Oh no,
I watched the chicken soup for the soul version.
Oh. I love the premise of that. That's amazing. We're going to do a movie at some point with 2 endings, and one of them is called the chicken soup for the soul ending.
Where everything just ends happy for everyone, and then they all go to church.
I can't wait. That's amazing. But like, he's great. And then it's when he's like, he's interrogating his, in the junkyard, he's interrogating his informant, and you're just like, you're not great in this. This is a lot. Like, this is so much.
It's like the famous the Hank Azaria.
Yeah.
With a greatest.
Yeah.
Like, what? And like,
so big.
And Hank, the cut back to Hank Azaria. It's like, that's him actually, his actual reaction to him. Because what, like,
makes no sense.
His performance is like borderline comedic at times.
Yeah. Oh, I completely agree with that. Yeah.
Where it's like on the, like, if everything else about it wasn't so like deadpan, deadly serious, there's not a moment of levity in this movie, except for those that feel so unintentional. I'm like, because like,
it's strange.
Like,
no one else goes that big ever.
No, not even close.
Like the serial killer guy is giving a big performance, but he's not giving that type of big performance. He's not doing that,
No,
like, he's more like stage actor big, you know what I mean? Where it feels like he's a guy, and I don't know if that's true, but it has that feeling of like a guy who's really hamming it up for the old lady in the back of the theater when the camera's right here.
Yeah.
It's still a good performance.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Pacino, at times, you're like, there was a couple times where I did the old like, okay, you know, I scoffed at it.
Yeah.
Which is maybe sacrilege to say. I don't know. But
yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. Again, it feels like a comedy, especially when he's acting opposite Hank Azaria, where I'm just like,
it never,
is this
like,
supposed to be funny? Like,
it never rips me out of the movie, but there are times where it takes you out a little bit, where you have to like re-stutter back in. Like, you're like, okay. Especially when De Niro's giving what I think is one of his best performances.
Bar none. Yeah, it is.
I think De Niro's incredible. Like, this is the one, like, I don't feel like he's talked about enough for his acting in this movie. Like, I genuinely think he's incredible in it.
Yeah. Yes.
And look, Kilmer is giving such a Kilmer performance in all the best ways. Like, he's so clearly dedicated every cell of his body into this. And look, the scene is awful. The when he's like trying to run off to gamble for the night, and he's in an argument with his wife, and he like threatens her. But like, there's something about that hop over the rail that like I can almost guarantee that was Kilmer's idea. That feels like such a Val Kilmer
Or done in
thing.
the moment,
Or done in the moment, and the camera was like, oh, okay, go. Like, he has these like really interesting ticks. Like, you think of him in, I mean, Tombstone, but Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is the same way, where he's just all these little ticks that he brings to his roles, where you're like, you can't direct that. You know what I mean? You can't write that. It's just a guy who knows his character and does it. I think he's great in this movie.
The shot of him right at the very end where he like sees her, she's up on the balcony, and he's like just filled with like joy to see her again. And then she gives him like the hand signal or whatever. And then just every ounce of joy leaves his body. Yeah. And he just, asks the guy for directions and gets in the car and drives away.
In terms of singular shots in a person's career, it's like that one. And then the other end of the spectrum for Kilmer is the cup spin in Tombstone, where it's just like you're giving this weirdly, insanely perfect performance on two ends of the emotional spectrum.
Yeah.
That I love.
I think Kilmer is phenomenal in this. We talked about which one we wanted to do for this. And I was like, is this a good Kilmer movie? Because I didn't know. I knew he was in it. It's like, it's Pacino, De Niro, like they are the leads. But I was like, is this a good Kilmer movie? And you were like, yeah, it's like, and yeah, he's like phenomenal in this.
He's got the shootout. He's given a really subdued performance in great ways. Like it's a good one, especially because I mean Tombstone's pretty subdued. Tombstone's not that huge of a performance from him.
It's like huge, but he's you know.
Oh, it's bigger. It's bigger for sure. But it's not like Willow or it's not Top Gun. It's not that kind of thing.
Kiss Bang Bang. Honestly,
no, Kiss Bang Bang is just comedy, so it seems that way. But oh, he's so good in Kiss Bang Bang. Yeah, that movie rules. Anyway,
I have another weird thought.
Yeah, well,
overall, the score was inoffensive, but then there were times where I was like, man, why is there music here? Like specifically the conversation with them at the diner. I'm like, why is there music underneath this?
I can agree with that. I think you're right about that.
It's like I think music is a little overused sometimes, and then there are times where it completely comes out and it comes out of left field, like that one shot of the van that was so weirdly affecting for me because there's like nothing. It's silent. There's no street sound, like just a small I think there's just like a low hum underneath.
That could very well be the computer that was sitting in the truck. You know what I mean? Like
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. That definitely feels like a product of the time and the genre specifically at the time, where it was very like noir noise the whole time, like, you know, which it's like, don't get me wrong, music is that the noir kind of sound is great. It's awesome. Yeah. But I do agree with you. If they dial it back like 15%, just bring it back a little bit.
Yeah. And like, you know, the like you're saying, like the instrumentation and the writing of the score is very 1995.
Yeah.
Which is, it's kind of crazy to think that it's going to be 30 years old this year.
It is going to be 30 years old this year.
As am I.
I
know, right? But yeah, Christopher Nolan needs to write Michael Mann a check.
Your review made me laugh on Letterboxd when I read it, because I was like, specifically Dark Knight, but a couple of his other movies too.
It's I see it in The Prestige. I see it in Batman Begins. I see it in The Dark Knight. Memento.
Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, dude, it's kind of a lot of literally, I think it's Tenet and Oppenheimer's when he fully breaks from it.
Oh, there's nothing. I mean,
Tenet
Inception,
more so, but Oppenheimer not really. Inception, yes and no.
Nothing in Oppenheimer whatsoever. Dunkirk, no. But man, his early stuff, boy howdy, that dude loves him a Michael Mann. The opening scene of the bank heist in Dark Knight is essentially the bank heist and the first scene of them tipping over the bank truck combined.
And look, there's nothing inherently wrong with that in any way.
No.
You know what I mean? Nolan still finds a way to make his movies his own, but they are definitely more than most directors they feel inspired by.
Yeah.
In a way that I do think is interesting and cool, but also it's fun to see Nolan in some of his recent work fully play outside of that.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about Odyssey, Nolan's next one. Yeah. That movie should be really cool.
Yeah.
But I agree with that.
Suck.
It's gonna weirdly be terrible this time. He's just gonna have lost all his juice.
All of it will be gone. Even though every actor known to man is in the movie, I'm sure it'll suck.
You want to talk structure? We had a brief conversation about the pace and structure of this movie before we started recording.
Before I watched it, I did not know this movie was nearly 3 hours long. Yep. I texted you. I was like, "Whoa, this movie's 3 hours? What the hell?" And you were like, yeah, but it doesn't feel like a 3 hour movie. And I mostly completely agree with that. I think it really moves and you don't feel the length really, in a really, really, really great way. Because there are many 3 hour movies that feel like 4 hour movies. Or there's many 2 hour movies that feel like 3.5, but this movie has great pace. for the most part. And I think it justified. There is some things where I'm like, was that really all that necessary? There's some characters that were like not as useful as you would think they would end up being with how much screen time they got. And then some screws probably could have gotten tightened. That being said, like I was still like really surprised at how well it moved overall, even with that long ass runtime.
Yeah, for me, the part that I harp on the most is post the shootout, post the heist going wrong, or the bank, not the heist, the bank robbery going wrong. Post that going wrong, and then before the final confrontation, before that little bit, you could shave like 10 minutes out of that.
Yeah,
that's the part where I was like, this is where you're killing your pace. Like, it just needs to move quicker. It just needs to be shorter. That being said, there's great stuff in there, and who knows how it would affect it to pull it. But that's my feeling. That's the part that I feel it the most is like we could have gotten to this last little bit a lot quicker.
There's like one like you can't even call it a B story. It's like a D story with the dude from 24 and the Allstate commercials. That guy.
Yeah.
That felt like such a very weird, awkward inclusion. Only, what are your thoughts on that whole storyline?
The thing that I appreciated overall about the movie this time more than I like rationalized it last time is how well it juggles everything.
Yeah.
Where you're like, how are you going to fit all this in? And for me, it pays off. You know what I mean? Like that storyline pays off. I don't exactly know what they're trying to say with it all. Because they do dedicate. I think if you trimmed that in half, if you trimmed all that stuff leading up to them asking, if you trimmed it in half, I would like it more. But you're right. That is the one that you could cut if you needed to cut something, because you could have just had Danny Trejo. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you could have melded Danny Trejo and him together in one, and like maybe you need another way for De Niro to find out about the serial killer guy. And that's like really it. Like because Danny Trejo's like gets like not nearly as much story and screen time as Allstate guy. Yeah. And yet I don't know. That's just weird. I just thought that was weird.
I agree with you. I think of all of the things that's juggling, that is the weakest. But everything else, like the business guy that tries to screw him over and kill him, followed by them getting hit. Like all of that stuff is juggled and interwoven so well.
Yeah.
That it really makes the movie just feel pretty chaotic and layered in great ways, in ways that, like we talked about with Severance, where it's like there are times where you feel lost in Severance, but it's a show that I just trust to always bring me back around.
Yeah.
And I felt that about this movie a little bit. There are times you're like, what's the relevance of this? And then it comes back into one cohesive character study, action thriller thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. If there were one to cut, it would be that one. That's kind of the squeaky wheel.
Shift it. Like that was just like, it just, because it felt so, look, they gave him a lot, or not a lot, but they gave him, the buildup of him, getting out and working at the diner and the thing with his girlfriend or wife. And then, he like, it just feels like really like perfectly set up where you're like, oh, he's working at the diner and they need a driver. And he also happens to be a driver who knows all the things. And Danny Trejo calls him at that diner to say, hey, I'm not going to be able to be. It's just like, that was like weirdly convenient. And then only for him to be the first person who dies. It's like there's something really tragic about that.
That's true.
And that's the point. I think is the tragedy of that storyline. But at the same time, like, then why have Danny Trejo's character be so much of a separate character when he doesn't get nearly the same screen time? I don't know. It was just a strange inclusion in my book, but that is like quite literally like the only like real like big question mark for me, where I was like, okay, what? All right, what? Then everything else I thought was like, just like you said, like juggled and edited and streamlined so well, where that one was like clunky in a way that like so none of the rest of the movie is to me.
I agree. Yeah. No. Yeah. I genuinely wonder what the conversation was there, though. Maybe they just liked it. Maybe they liked the tragedy, or Danny Trejo didn't have enough shooting days, or I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, any number of weird things could have happened there.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, look, the performance is great.
Yeah, he's great.
Across the board, I think the performance is great. Like, and like, just maybe you're exactly right. Like, Danny Trejo, his schedule was, didn't perfectly line up or whatever.
He couldn't do the full shootout, or he couldn't do the day where they started it or whatever,
Yeah. Who knows?
Who's to say? Who knows? So yeah, I think both of us, it's safe to say, we both really dig this movie. It's just for us a couple of squeaky wheels.
Yeah.
That being said, it's still like one of the coolest movies of all time.
Yeah, it's like solid, like 4.5. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's a stone cold classic. It rules, man.
Yeah. It's awesome. I want to dig into some of the special features. This feels like a cool movie to do that on. It feels like there's a lot of really fascinating things to learn, because that is the thing. Like, this feels like film school, the movie. You know what I mean? Like, feels like everything you need to teach somebody about movie making can kind of be found in here.
I feel like the same way like James Cameron. It has that kind of same like fundamental, really well crafted filmmaking.
Yeah, show somebody either of his
action movie.
Yeah, either of his Terminator movies, the Avatar 2 specifically, or Aliens, and just you'll get everything you need to know about compelling storytelling. Like, it's they're James Cameron and Michael Mann are actually kind of weirdly similar directors to me. They're not, like, they're very different, but I can also see the through line.
Right.
That's a good that's like, a great
if Michael
example.
Mann made more sci-fi.
Yeah, straight up, yes.
You know?
Yeah, good shit though. I'm glad we watched this. I've been due for a rewatch for a long time.
Yeah, I've been wanting to watch the entirety of our podcast.
Yeah. My bad, everybody.
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
No, not too much. I mean, like, lesson wise, I think it's just know when to have your moments of tension. Like, if the whole movie, if a 3-hour movie is tense the entire time, it's going to get old. Yeah. And so, when you think of the tense scenes in this movie, it is the surveillance van scene, the shootout sequence, the cat and mouse game they play. It's very specific sections where they really bite into you with it.
Yeah.
Just know that, structure that out. And then the other side of it is like dedication, man. If everyone in your movie dedicates the way Kilmer did, and De Niro and all these guys on doing that sequence, on doing the whole movie to this level, it comes through. It's so easy to tell. And I think like Kilmer's the best example of that, right? Of like, just a guy who dedicated every cell in his body to figuring this guy out and doing it. Like, there's something about the way he rolls out from under the cover and gets to his knees and starts shooting, and like, it's just really physical and interesting, and it feels like it's like, that's how you do that. Like, that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It
has a feeling of authenticity that I think only comes from super dedicated things. Your lesson, sir?
Yeah, I think to piggyback off of one of the things you said about like the tension, I think one thing this movie does really well is giving both sides the upper hand at different moments. So
Great
nobody
example.
is truly losing the entire time. You know what I mean? Like, it gives the opportunity for De Niro and his crew to like get the upper hand sometimes and to like be on top, and then for that to like flip flop, where it's like there's always tension, but it's never always on the exact same characters. So like when you go back to them, you go back to that storyline, you're automatically like, oh no, they're so close to dying. It's like, no. Like, they're on top, like they are in front of it. And then, something happens, like, the serial killer guy is working for the other dude now, like whatever. Like, there is so much back and forth in the cat and mouse. Like, sometimes the mouse has the booby trap,
Yeah. I love that expression.
Like, and I think, which makes it even more compelling how evenly matched these two are,
Yes.
I think that is incredibly well handled and worth studying.
I love that. That's a great lesson. Mark it. That's a great one. Okay, B segment.
So I figured, with everything that happened, we would just talk about some Val Kilmer movies.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love Val. I have a very, very deep appreciation for Kilmer.
I have some trivia-ish questions, and then we could just talk about his oeuvre.
Exciting.
On Letterboxd, what do you think his top 5 highest rated movies are? Not his performance or anything specifically, like the movie itself on Letterboxd. What do you think the top 5 are?
Top Gun Maverick.
It is on there.
Tombstone.
It is on there.
Heat.
It is on there for sure.
Is Willow?
No.
Okay, that was my question. Top Gun?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think the other 2 will surprise you, I think.
Okay. Is it Batman Forever? I know it's not. I know it's not. Trying to think of other like Kilmer classics.
I don't know if these 2 are Kilmer classics. These are, one of them I consider a Kilmer classic, and I think the other one I don't know if you would consider a Kilmer movie.
Okay, is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang one of them?
No.
All right, have I seen them?
You've seen one of them. The other one you have not.
I might not have any clue on this. What's the one I haven't seen?
The one you haven't seen is The Prince of Egypt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me too much. I've heard he's great in it, and I've heard that movie is fantastic. I guess I don't know the other one. What's the one I've seen?
True Romance.
Oh, okay. I'm into that. I definitely don't. I don't consider that a Kilmer movie.
But he's in it.
But he's in it.
Yeah.
That's a really great movie, though. I have it on the shelf above me.
Yeah, you got a badass box of it.
Yeah, the Arrow video release. I also have a Doc Holliday Funko Pop somewhere over there. If you can see it, I don't know.
Hell yeah. I don't know if you can see it, but it's definitely there. I can.
It's definitely there.
I swear. We're not lying. It's there.
We are not making this up.
So in order, Heat is number 1 at 4.3. Then it's The Prince of Egypt with 4.0.
That's
Top
shocking.
Gun Maverick with 4.0. True Romance with 3.9. And Tombstone with 3.9.
I mean, there's something about a 3.9 movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I'm saying?
I think Tombstone is higher than a 3.9, and I'm honestly surprised that The Prince of Egypt is at a 4.0. Legitimately, I love that movie, but it is
there was
surprising
discussion about doing that one for this episode.
Yeah. All right, most viewed. This list is similar, but not exactly the same. So, as far as logs on Letterboxd, what is his top 5?
Got to be Top Gun Maverick. Tombstone.
No.
Okay. So Top Gun Maverick and Top Gun has to be on this one.
Yeah, that is 1 and 2.
Yeah. Okay. Heat.
Yes, that's 3.
Is Prince of Egypt on there too?
Prince of Egypt is 4. Can he get number 5?
Is it Batman Forever?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You literally got it in order. You holy crap!
Hell yes.
You
Best I've ever done on a game.
Legitimately. Wow, that was so good.
Like Tombstone was my one hiccup, but still.
No, you got it in order. That was the part I was impressed by. Yeah. Okay. Top Gun Maverick. How many do you think that movie? How many views do you think that movie
has? That clipped into the 3 million?
No, it has not.
Okay, so it's going to be like 2.4 or something like that?
2.1. Very close.
2.1. Okay.
And then Top Gun Maverick at 1.3, Heat at 973K, The Prince of Egypt at 697, and Batman Forever at 482. Oh, amazing. What a good freaking guess. You did such a good job on that one. But yeah,
yes.
Val Kilmer, what are some of your favorites?
I mean, I have a really soft spot for Batman Forever. It's like I loved it as a kid. It's so campy and weird, but it's one that I still enjoy.
I think Val Kilmer is underappreciated as Batman as well.
I think given a different movie, he could have been one of the best Batman. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. I think he has talked about it. Like his documentary Val, which is narrated by his son, who sounds just like him. And it's just basically because Val Kilmer just always had a camera. Every set he went on, he just had a camera and he was filming stuff all the time. So there's all of this archival footage talking about moments in his life. And he talked about Batman where he said he was so excited. Like, he literally, when he got the call, he was walking out of a bat cave in Africa. And he loved Batman. Like he did. Like as a kid, he loved Batman. It was this weird mythological moment. And then he said how much it broke his heart to make that movie. Yeah. Because he realized he was just a guy in it to fill a suit. Like that's all he was. And that's really sad because I think he could have been great, but I still really like Batman Forever. I have a really soft spot for it.
Yeah.
And Tombstone is my favorite Western. I
don't know why we don't talk about how phenomenal that movie is more often.
I know. It is fundamentally one of the best kind of. It is fun. It's one of the best westerns. I think everyone can agree on it. I think it's one of the best movies. Like I think Tombstone is kind of perfect.
Yeah. I think there's a couple of movies that I would put up against it in terms of like best western. Yeah,
like Unforgiven is up there.
Unforgiven for sure. Like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly would definitely be up there for me.
But I really like Willow. I have a soft spot for Willow. His scene in Top Gun Maverick, I cry every time. I cry. I tear up every time. It makes me really emotional. I think it's really well done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the documentary Val also.
Yeah.
Like, really genuinely watch that. It's a brilliant documentary about an actor that I think was really I don't know if underrated is the right word, but under talked about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Val Kilmer gets the credit he should get.
I agree.
And I also think he's really funny. He's hilarious in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. What's the Ricky Gervais show where he plays like a Hollywood producer?
No idea.
I can't tell me in the comments whoever's listening to this, but I that is one that I saw a couple clips from, and he's hysterical.
Yeah. He has a really good range. Like he has a really good range.
He does. He is in an episode of Psyche. So Psyche is like my favorite TV show ever. It's whenever I feel down, I always start a Psyche rewatch. There's it's about like a running joke. There's two running jokes throughout the show. There's a cop they always refer to who's never seen. Like they're just walking off like, what are you doing? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. And then the entirety of the show, like 4 or 5 times a season, give a shout out to Val Kilmer and how much they love him. Like they're just like sweet Val. Like they love him. They find every time they can make a joke about Kilmer and how much they love him, they do it. And in the last episode, he plays the cop that's off screen that you never see for like one little moment. It's amazing. So sweet. It in the structure of the show, it's a really touching moment. It's really funny. Anyway, and so yeah, it's a.
Am I mixing? Who's the like the police captain in Psyche? Is that the same dude that's in Heat, or am I thinking of Monk?
No, it's a different guy.
Okay, I'm thinking of Monk because he's in Monk.
Oh, does Kilmer show up in Monk?
No. The one of the guy in the shootout, the first cop.
Oh,
that dies,
okay.
He also plays Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs. Yeah. He's like the chief, like the police captain, police chief.
I didn't know that.
I thought it was Psyche, but it must be Monk.
It's got to be Monk, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just think Val Kilmer
would be a funny connection if they were both. If he was in Heat with Val Kilmer and then he showed up, he's like a running, one of the main characters, one of the characters in that show, and then Val Kilmer shows up in that one as well. But that is not the case.
No. Anyway, I just think when I heard Val Kilmer die, I was really bummed. I was really sad about it because I just every time he pops up, he's great. He's so good. And he's been in a lot of movies that I just adore. So he's popped up a lot in my life. And he was very sick for a very long time. He couldn't really act anymore. And I appreciate a guy as passionate as him. Like watch Val, and you'll just see this like love for the craft that he has, and that to me that's everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was really really sad to hear about that. But those are some of my favorite Val Kilmer stuff. You should watch all of that, especially Val. Val's incredible.
Yeah. Top Secret is like such a weird.
I want to watch it so bad.
I saw it several years ago. I don't remember if that movie has aged well at all. But man, that is I've
seen bits recently, like the underwater fist fight and the tic-tac-toe shootout.
Yeah. It is like an absolute masterclass in farce. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it is such an insane movie. But it's like absolutely hilarious. Again, I can't speak to its PC qualifications.
Yeah, well, of course. Look, it's a comedy from back in the day,
Yeah, but that is a very funny movie and a very weird. It's like especially for him, it's like it's very different from a lot of the other movies that he's done, and like it's very much a comedy movie. That being said, like, he's done Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He's absolutely hilarious in it. You know? But yeah, the other, this will be one of my recommendations, but like, I think he is absolutely phenomenal in The Prince of Egypt. And I think that, look, I'm not exactly the most religious human being at this point in my life. But that movie is really, really, really well made, regardless of your connection to the story that it's telling. I think it's just
good music, good animation.
Oh, phenomenal music. Yeah. And it's absolutely gorgeous. And I remember they were talking, like, when making the movie, they were struggling to figure out, because like at one point, he talks to God, like he hears the voice of God, and they're trying to figure out what they wanted to do. And originally, I think they had like a chorus of people speaking, like all of the other actors, like together, and they ended up just using Val Kilmer. So Val Kilmer is both Joseph and the voice of God in the movie, and it's like phenomenal. Like, it is so good because it is two different voices that he's, like it is not like transformational in the way that like Mark Hamill, where it's like, oh my God, that's Mark Hamill's voice. But it's like, it's such especially like thinking of it this way, it's like Joseph is hearing his own voice, maybe. Like, or it's the voice, like how it's like really deep if you wanted to interpret it in a variety of ways. And I think that performance is really great and the movie's really great. So that, just to go right into recommendations, that would definitely be one of my recommendations, alongside Kiss Kiss Bang Bang as well. Again, like, hasn't aged phenomenally well, but damn it if it isn't good and isn't very funny and absolutely insane.
Yeah. I recommended a bunch of stuff just a second ago, so all of those, specifically Val and Tombstone, I think, and then Batman Forever, just because I have a soft spot for it. Specifically those, I think you cannot go wrong. I also want to recommend, have you heard of The Studio on Apple TV?
I have heard of it. I haven't started watching it. I've heard it's great.
So it's a Seth Rogen, just for the listening on, it's a Seth Rogen show where he plays a studio executive. A lot of very famous actors and directors play themselves in it. It is hysterical. It is so funny, and it's made so well. Like, it's made in this series of long takes. So it a lot of times plays like theater, of a camera just panning back and forth. Like, there's an episode that is just one continuous take with no cuts. And I don't think any hidden cuts either. I think it's a true oneer episode. And then the rest of it is just like really long, like 5, 6, 7 minute takes going upstairs into buildings, around studio lots. It's really, really good. Everyone in it is hysterical. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And all of the people who come, like Ron Howard's episode is really funny. Ron Howard is really funny in it.
I love it.
So that's a great one. I highly recommend that. The other thing I recommend, I have not seen, but you and I are lucky enough to go see one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I think both of some of our most anticipated movies of the year in the best format you can find it in, because we lucked out and happened to both be in the same city at the same time. So I'll be back in Dallas, and we're gonna go see Sinners in 70 millimeter IMAX, full aspect ratio. Like, it is. We're seeing it like 11 o'clock at night. So we're gonna be nice and sleepy going in.
After 2 long days of us working on something.
After 2 long days of some work. Very exciting. I cannot wait for that movie. If you haven't seen it, and this episode will come out the day Sinners comes out, so it'll come out the morning before it releases. Look these up. Try to find these. Ryan Coogler has a great video he put out.
It's so awesome.
It's so cool, where he's just talking about his love.
The reason why I bought these tickets was because of that video. And I was like, I didn't know they were releasing this in 70 millimeter IMAX. I gotta go buy a ticket.
And apparently the movie's also incredible. Like, apparently it's his highest rated movie so far. And he has made pretty much nothing but really solid to great movies. Like,
what movie is just solid?
Wakanda Forever.
Okay, yeah. That is literally the only one. Every other one is like great.
Great. Yeah, no, it's Ryan Coogler's one of my favorite directors. I've loved him since the first Creed came out.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited to watch his first like blank check movie, You know what I mean? The first movie he just gets, because like Fruitvale Station is based on a real thing that happened. Creed is a sequel, a legacy sequel to a franchise. MCU Black Panther movies. This is his first like fully original movie that he just got to do whatever he wanted, and it looks incredible. I love a cool horror movie. It's a cool Western vampire thing, like, and we're seeing it in the best.
The setting feels so original, like like there are, you know, like maybe you could point at like, oh, what was that HBO show, like a year or two ago that had like, it was like mostly like black cast. Jonathan Majors is in it.
Oh, Lovecraft County or something like that.
Yeah. It's like that's the only thing that I can think of that's like close to this in terms of like setting and cast and stuff.
Yeah,
and yet it looks completely different.
Watch that video because it's so unpretentious, which is part of what I love about it. It's just a guy going like, I love this, like it's so cool, here's how it works, and just explaining it in really easy to follow ways, and they give you really great examples of the differences you're gonna see, and it's like not coming to IMAX where I'm currently living at all. Not even regular IMAX screenings, which I cannot believe, not even for opening weekend. There's nothing else playing in IMAX that I can find that's like new. But so I'm so glad I just will happen to be in town so we can go see it in this great, perfect format for it.
Yeah. I've seen 70 millimeter IMAX movies twice on this screen, one for Oppenheimer and one for Dunkirk. I don't even really like Dunkirk that much, and it was one of the best movie going experiences of my entire life. Oppenheimer, even more so.
Same thing. That screen is incredible. It looks so good. So I'm so excited. Plus, seeing a movie on film, let alone 70 millimeter film, is like rare these days. So the fact that it's like, this will be my second time ever seeing a movie on 70 millimeter, your third. Yeah. And we go to movies all the time. We watch movies all the time. So it's a really special thing. So if you are in one of these 10 cities, which it's super sad that there's just 10, go see it.
There just aren't that many.
No.
There's so few projectors that can even do this.
Projectors and projectionists. I remember when we went to Oppenheimer, they like came out and shouted out the guy. They had to fly into town to come do it for them.
Yeah.
They had two dudes running it like every day, and it's becoming a lost art form. And look, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't give up digital film, you know what I mean, like digital movie making for anything. I just think we do need to help preserve the film too. It's a very important thing.
The Hateful Eight, Dunkirk. You know, Hateful Eight wasn't 70 millimeter IMAX; it was 65 millimeter Panavision, Super Panavision.
Yeah. Ultra Panavision.
Ultra Panavision.
Yeah. Which we went and saw that, which was amazing.
They did the road show, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like these things, these kinds of events like this, I think are becoming more commonplace. I mean, like, this is the first time I'm seeing this, going to this theater, seeing it in this format that isn't Christopher Nolan. So it's really
and
cool.
The fact that it's a fully original movie too, that's getting this treatment from Warner Brothers. Like, it's crazy to me. I want I want this movie to make just a ton of money, and I think it stands a really good shot of making a good bit of money. It's got a great, really popular cast right now. It's a horror movie. It is got some action-y elements. It's been marketed really well. All of the trailers have been really interesting and cool. And now they're rolling out the red carpet on the formats. Like, man, this we need as a film-going community. We need to reward this type of thing.
Amen.
So please go see this. It's getting great reviews. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And if you can see it in even some of the regular IMAX formats, go support the high format version of it.
Yeah.
Because they filmed it for that, and I'm so excited. First time I've ever recommended something I haven't seen before, but
it's like, but
I'm recommending the experience as much as I am the movie. Yeah. Like, and let alone the fact that I want at this time in our current culture, I think it's very important to have directors of color, directors from marginalized communities make movies that do incredibly well. And this is a blockbuster. It's very accessible. Like, go see this one. This is the one to go see.
Michael B. Jordan looks hot as hell.
And there's two of them.
Looks hot as hell.
Yes.
Like, if only for the horny. Like,
if only for the horny. Yeah. Anyway.
Two other small recommendations for me. I mentioned it earlier. I watched Enemy of the State, Partially just because like I was literally just, I don't remember, it was like Amazon Prime or something like that, just like searching through, and I saw it and I was like, oh, like I was passing through and I saw Enemy of the State and I was like, oh, Gene Hackman. So I watched it. Man, that movie shreds. Like, it's very 1990s, but wow, it's like very much about like the surveillance state, and like it feels horrifyingly accurate to right now in the world we're living in. And it like watching this, the 1-2 punch of Enemy of the State and then Heat, I think is really interesting. And man, it makes me really want to deep dive in some 90s thrillers. Because they just don't make them like they used to. They don't make them like they used to.
They really, really do not.
Yeah, like, I mean, like that was the thing, is like Gene Hackman was like a huge actor, like, you know, and then the biggest star in the world at the time, Will Smith, like. Also has John Voight in it. If John Voight's John Voight, but you know, just the
but
weird,
he's in there. He's in there.
And it's also got I can't remember his name. The other crew member, the Italian dude. I can't remember his name. I almost want to call him. Doesn't matter. He's also in it. Like there's some crossover there. But yeah, like Enemy of the State's like I like almost completely forgotten, it feels like, and I feel like that movie is like good and like better than people give it credit for. Regina King's in it; she's great. Like, like that's a good movie, and I don't think people talk about it in the same way. Jack Black is in it in a small role. It's really fun. And then Shrinking on Apple TV. Me and my after Severance, me and Meg started watching Shrinking, and man, that show is so good.
That'll be an episode soon. I really want to watch it, and I know how much you love it.
I haven't watched season 2 yet, but I like burned through season 1, you know, a year or two ago. Man, that show, like, it's like the best Harrison Ford has been in like such a long time, and you can tell how much he like genuinely loves it. It's like. And it's just everybody, the writing and the acting is so phenomenal. Like, I think the camera work is like good. But man, everything else, like, it just is so well written, so sweet and funny and heartbreaking. And
the creator is Brett Goldstein, right?
Yeah, the dude from
Ted Lasso.
Yeah, Ted Lasso. Yeah.
He has a great podcast. He's about to release a comedy special too. I really like him.
Yeah.
I've been desperate to watch Shrinking. It feels like a show I need right now. You know what I mean? Like,
it is chicken soup for the soul.
I love that. Trademark, copyright.
Chicken soup for the soul is already very much copyrighted by a weird Christian organization.
Damn it! Okay, we'll buy it from them.
I think Chicken Soup for the Soul was the company that bought Redbox.
What?
Yeah, or
okay.
I can't remember that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they bought what is left of Redbox.
That is so weird.
Chicken Soup for the Soul. Anyways, but it is truly like good for the soul television. Like really well written, really well made, or really well acted.
Sick.
Absolutely love it.
You have so many things to watch. We literally right at the end there talked about like 40 different things.
Multiple television shows.
Yeah, multiple Val Kilmers, a movie that neither of us have seen but are very excited about. Different movie formats, shows, all of it. You have so much to watch. We love you, Val Kilmer. So you should go watch and support all of those things. Or don't. I don't know. Live your life.